Now we are in Genesis chapter 28. So in Genesis chapter 28 now, we see where Jacob was blessed by his father Isaac. And mom first came to suggest to dad that she wouldn't like her son Jacob to marry any of the Canaanites or the Hittites women, that's the land they are living in. She doesn't want Jacob to marry any of their women. So she brought that complaint to dad, and dad called Jacob and blessed him and told him the same thing, that he shouldn't marry amongst from the people they were living there in Beersheba. So they sent Jacob to his uncle Laban in Haran to go look for wife. But this was the agreement between Rebekah, the mom, and Jacob, that Jacob should run away from his brother, because she overheard Esau planning to do away with Jacob as soon as their dad passed away. So mom was the one that brought this idea to dad, so that Esau would think Jacob is going to look for a wife. If you read to the tail end of 27, that statement is right there. And in chapter 28 now, Isaac called Jacob to bless him and for him to go. So on his way, he arrived at a place called Paddan Aram. Jacob had obeyed his father and mother and had gone to Paddan Aram. Esau then realized how displeasing the Canaanite women were to his father Isaac. So he went to Ishmael and married Mahalath, the sister of Nebaioth and daughter of Ishmael, son of Abraham. So you see, Esau, the elder son, now went to his uncle Ishmael, because Ishmael was Isaac's elder brother from Hagar. So Esau went to that bloodline to get a wife. Whilst they sent Jacob to his mother's land to go get a wife. So you see, so it was Esau that was lamenting and said this. Esau then realized how displeasing the Canaanite women were to his father Isaac. That was the reason they were sending Jacob away. So in verse 10 now of 28, Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. He's going to his uncle Laban in Haran for a wife. And on his way, he arrived at a place. He was tired and spent the night there. And during that time, he had a dream. He saw angels climbing a ladder from earth to heaven and back. And when he woke up, and in that dream, before he woke up, God spoke to him. Let's read along. And we are reading from the New International Version. So in verse 12, he had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth. He saw a stairway resting on the earth with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. There above it stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are living. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and your descendants will be like the dust on the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All people on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. So you see, the covenant God made it long time ago with Abraham. It is what is going to manifest now here in the life of Jacob, because his father Isaac has given him all those blessings. And God is, just trying to show Jacob that I am with you. Whatever your dad said, because Isaac is the covenant child, God promised to fulfill his covenant with from Abraham's offspring. So if he has a son, he too has given all those blessings. God is just trying to seal those blessings. He is trying to let Jacob know that him, God, is the God of their forefathers, of his grandparents, is still with him. He is still trying to buttress to Jacob that wherever you go, I am with you, and I will bring you back to this land to make sure what I have said is fulfilled in your life. This is what God is telling Jacob in this dream. And finally, when Jacob awoke, that is verse 16 now, from his sleep, he thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. He was afraid and said, how awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. You see, so what he saw in the dream is making him say all this, that this is the door to heaven, because he saw angels going up and down, and the Lord himself spoke to him in the dream. This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar and poured oil on top of it. He called that place Bethel, though the city used to be called Luz. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's house, then the Lord will be my God. So him too took an oath before God there, that if God be with him, take him safely to where he's going and bring him back safely, God will be his God. And this same stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house. And of all that you give me, I will give you a tenth. That is a tithe. He has taken that vow in the presence of God just after that dream, that wherever he is going, if God kept him safely and bring him back safely, whatever he gets, he will come and pay God a tithe, that he will give a tenth of whatever he gets to God. That was the oath he took, and he said that place is going to be a house of God. He put a stone, pour oil on it, that this is the house of God. And that is the end of chapter 28. And these two chapters, all the activities that has happened in there, we're going to talk more about it in other videos. Thank you.